Hey guys, so lots of people died recently in the weather, in the cold weather, which is kind of crazy that just your environment kills you. I'm from Arizona, which our environment kills people all the time in the summer. And when I moved to Flagstaff, which is 2 hours north, Flagstaff's actually one of the, I think it's the 11th snowiest city in America. So coming from Arizona, from Phoenix, where our record's 122 degrees, 50 degrees Celsius, I was like, I don't know what to do in the cold weather. So before I moved up there, I took some survival classes already, and I took some winter survival classes. And so people died just because they didn't have things prepared in their vehicle. So I'm always having things in the car, like on me. My vehicle like backs me up. It's my next level of gear, and then obviously when you get home, there's more stuff there. So I was talking about this with some of the guys in the group, monthly coaching program, and we're gonna go over. I needed to update some of this stuff anyways, because as life changes, as we move, as I started a family, the mission changes and it evolves. So I'm actually going through this process now and upgrading stuff. So I'm gonna go through my winter survival bag, which I will be changing once the weather warms up here in Phoenix, because we don't have to deal with the extreme cold anymore. And then maybe I'll go over my urban survival bag and my tactical dad bag if I have time. So first off, clothes. Wearing good stuff. It's easy in the morning. We're fortunate our in-laws moved down here to help us out with the baby, and so in the morning sometimes we'll drop her off and come home, and then I get to have a full day of work, and it's pretty nice. But I was almost starting to slip into this easy habit where I just kind of throw on sweatpants or shorts or whatever and go over to the house, drop it off. I did that twice, and then I thought, I mean, I always had my firearm and stuff with me, but then I thought, oh, if something happened, if I got in an accident, like I'm out, it's freezing cold in the morning, I'm in shorts and slip-on shoes, and my first layer of defense isn't there. So the next day I actually did get in a car accident, and I was like, oh, good thing I had that thought and was prepared. So number one, having stuff you can throw on. Here's a jacket I just got at Costco. It's gonna be my tactical. I have Arc'teryx stuff and nice stuff, but I want to destroy that, so it's like an Eddie Bauer down jacket. I'm taking that with me on a trip, so that's out. Normally it'd be tucked in one of these pockets. But having extra stuff I can layer up if I need to with the weather. So rain jackets in one of these pockets, hoodie, total set of rain clothes. That's actually the Frog Togs I got for when I was riding my Harley. I had that in the saddlebag. Change t-shirt, socks, belt, underwear, things like that. And that's just basic stuff, just emergencies. You get food poisoning, you spill something on your clothes, or you just train. And the way we train, things happen, clothes get destroyed. You have pepper spray on your clothes, and you got to take it off so you can drive home and don't contaminate your car. So that's a little organizer I put in there, and that's just like normal basic stuff. Like I said, rain jacket, safety glasses, gloves, 550 cord, all that's organized in there. I have a tow strap tucked in here. Underneath here, I have tire cables, tow straps, ratcheting tow straps, spare tire, all that stuff that's in here, fire extinguisher. So that's all underneath here. I don't want to pull all that out. But just the basic stuff. You get stuck in the snow and you're on the side of the road, you need some help, or you need to get yourself out. I was trying to do different things that would be in this bag, easily accessible. First one is my Spetsnaz shovel. So it's good to have a shovel just to dig out of the snow. Anyone who's done any training, tactical training, or thrown these are pretty devastating. You actually start throwing those at wood. So why not have a shovel that can be used in other ways? Wool blanket is also tucked in back here. So obviously wool is warm, it's a thick blanket, but wool also is very flame resistant. So once I remember driving down the road and I saw someone's car on fire. It was a Volkswagen, and the Volkswagen Beetle, and the back motor was on fire. And I was thinking back then, this is years ago, I was like, oh, it'd be nice if I had a fire extinguisher. After that, I got one for the car, but I've heard stories about those exploding and stuff in cars. So I was like, oh, well, let me get a blanket. That way I can use it. I can lay it down on the street if I'm just changing a tire and the pavement out here in Arizona, like I said, the temperature gets insanely hot. I could use it for that, or I could use it as like a fire blanket, so that's also there. Anyways, back to the bag. First off, front pocket, I have a little red LED like dog tag, so that way I could just pull it out, clip it, or set it on the ground right there. There's red light flashing, so hopefully someone might see that. Or if the bag's coming out, I turn it on so I can more easily find it. Front pocket, I mean, basic stuff. Tire gauge, stormproof matches. These are cool. They'll light when it's wet. If you can light them and actually dunk them in water, pull them out, they'll reignite. Survival candle. So this is the Exotac. Big fan of the Exotac stuff. Survival candle. I'll bang that around later. Valve stem covers. That was from the tire gauge. So I'm a big fan of like flint and fire starters and all that from Exotac, but why not have a mini Bic lighter? Cotton balls, Carmex petroleum jelly. Put them on the cotton balls, it helps ignite them, but also use it for your lips, chapped lips and mouth if you need it. So survival candle. Oh, this one also might be. Oh, I can get this. This is the test. I'm going to see if it handled the summer. Oh, there you go. So I remember this, the beeswax is supposed to melt at a higher temperature. So when I got this, I was actually curious about that, if it was going to be able to handle the Arizona heat. And so it looked like it melted just a little and sealed it on the outside, but it's basically still looks good in there. So that's just the stuff in the front. Little candle can really make a difference in an enclosed environment. Obviously, you want to keep a window cracked for airflow. Next, top pocket, flashlight, little Streamlight Pro Tac. I have it twisted out so it's not accidentally coming on. And I'm going to be updating these too. I've had too many lights now throughout the years have the alkaline batteries leak. So this one's good, but I've had other ones in little kits I've had leak and battery acid comes out and then it destroys the light. So everything I'm switching to now is all lithium batteries. I've been upgrading everything to lithium. Lithium, though, when it's cold, will have some issues, though. It might not work as well. So right next to it, hand warming packets, a couple of them. And these aren't the most powerful, but can make a difference. If your hands are numb, it's pretty hard to work. A good little test in survival classes is to put your hands in the snow for a minute and pull it out and try to do normal tasks. It's pretty difficult just to light a match and catch and start fire. I've broken matches doing that using a lighter. The flint gets wet and then you can't even light it. So the hand warmers, just to kind of warm up your hands so you can actually get functionality out of them, is pretty helpful. Little mini multi-tool scissor set I had. Just a little one that I threw in there. It's ratchet, it's a SOG, just a little pocket one in case I got to cut stuff open, branches, anything. So flashlight and the candle will be adjusted, so I'm keeping those out. Survival blanket. So this is a new one. And I got to play with this. This is the new, I mean, it's just from Walmart, it's cheap stuff. But it's a pretty thick, heavy-duty survival blanket. And you can use it for a shelter and everything. So I like this. I'm probably going to tuck this in somewhere here. But before I had that one, this is just the one I just keep in here. The little survival blankets that are the aluminum foil looking ones that are a little square, those are pretty horrible. They wear out, start shedding, start breaking down. We actually pulled one out once in a camping trip years ago, and it was falling apart. So these are much heavier duty, high visibility orange, so that way you can use it to signal and for people to see it. But the just quality of these, just day and night difference. You can buy these on Amazon. They sell them at Walmart. So I think that survival blanket is just a much heavier duty, bigger version. So I like that. high visibility vest. You're on the side of the road. You want people to see you, so throw this on. You can use it too for social engineering stuff, but keeping this in here so that way, side of the road, storm, hopefully they see you. Also, you can hang it up and make it easier to find you. Mountain House. This is the Pro Pack. These are the ones that are vacuum sealed. Mountain House is the best freeze-dried food I found. Beef stew. Throw some boiling water in there, rehydrate it, and hot heats it up. If you don't have hot water, you do cold water. Takes twice as long, but you can still eat it. And then I got water in the car up the front, so this is in here. Some thin little gloves. So I'm a big fan of these little gloves, and you can get them from like all the Walmart. You can get them from all the little mechanic shops, O'Reilly's, anything like that. Just little work gloves. They have some rubber on the end that helps you get a little grip, and they just protect your hands a little bit. So working on a flat tire and you're taking it off, put these on. They'll keep your hands a little safer. When it's snowy, wet, they give you more grip and a little protection from the elements. I have heavier duty gloves in there, but these are just some like work gloves. Throw on with you have a flat, throw these gloves on, they'll protect your hands. So tire plug kit. This is what they use at Discount Tire and stuff to basically plug your tires. Some of them use just this, some have the patches, but this is the emergency one. So you ream it out, stick it in there, cut it. You can drive if you need to. I got a little compressor in the car too. So that's plug it up, and then you can hopefully drive out. When I was really worried about the snow, this is stuff I was looking into. I haven't used these, but there's some cool reviews on Amazon from them. They're basically just super heavy duty zip ties that have little studs in them. So you just wrap them around your tire and crank them down. And a lot of times when you're trying to get out of the snow, you just need a little bit of traction. So I was like, oh, this will be a good little test. Like I said, I have the cables in there, not chains. Chains are for big heavy duty vehicles, but smaller sport utility vehicles or cars, you usually use like cables. So this is something I could throw on real quick without having to get down there and put a set of cables on. If you've never done that before, you should do it. You should get a rep doing it, because it's a little bit of a hassle, but putting it on in a storm when you're stuck in the snow is going to be a lot harder. So this is something I was like, oh, if I could just strap 2 or 3 of these on and just get a bite and start moving, or all of them, that'd be nice. So something I haven't had to use, but easy, why not? Something that takes this much space to be the difference of getting in and out. I'll do it. Another set of gloves. Glow sticks. So I'm actually going through all these right now. There were some over here. Actually, let me pull this out. The wrapper's falling apart. That's barely glowing. So all my glow sticks, I was going through replacing. And what I used to do is carry white and red, because white is really bright. Yep, that's dead. And the red is dimmer. But people will see that from the side of the road, and like red, like road flare and stuff, that might catch their eye, and people would be more aware of that. So like, I'm switching all to the military style Kim Lights tactical green. These actually have the better hook on them. So I've been going through all my tactical bags, everything, replacing them. And that's what started this, actually, was coming out to do this. So those are getting put back in there. Little Streamlight lantern. I believe, nope, yeah, I need to swap those out too to lithium. I think I did it in this one, but not this. So this is just a little lantern, different light settings. Red, SOS, you can hang it, throw it in there if I need to work. Mora knife. If you've ever done any survival training, you know how awesome these knives are, cheap on Amazon. So this is another thing I got to play with. I remember seeing a survival video years ago. Well, not a survival video, I should say. It's like some dudes in Russia, and they were stuck in the snow, and the guy just got like a 2x4 and put it up near the tire and then just tied it into the rim. And then when he turned or started driving, that 2x4 would do like a full rotation, spinning in the snow, and then bite, and then the whole car would kind of take one step forward. So I saw these, and these are a takeoff of that, where you just ratchet that around your tire, and it's called the tire grabber. And again, if I can be in the snow, I think I got these first before the zip ties. If I'm stuck in the snow and I don't have to get out and throw cables and all that stuff on, just throw this on real quick. I'll be able to get out. I mean, that's, to me, that seems like a no-brainer, but yep, just goes through the wheel, bites in, and then it gives you one big chunk to grip. So you kind of get one half tire rotation and you slowly start getting your way out of it. And if you've ever been stuck in the snow, you know it's normally just like a section that you're stuck in. So that also with the zip ties. Heavy duty toe strap. Every car should have that. This is a bivvy. So instead of just the blanket, a bivvy is like a sleeping bag. And I have a heavier duty one in the other kit, but emergency blanket in this. We're up front. This was kind of like we're stuck in the car, we're freezing, pull this out, someone can wrap it around themselves, someone can wrap the blanket around themselves. We got the wool blanket, got little candles. Might not be toasty warm, but it's definitely going to be a lot better than just being stuck in the cold. And if you think about the vehicle too, it's all sheet metal, there's no insulation. Like, you get in your car when it's dead of winter, it's cold, so it's not fun to be sitting in there. I kind of almost want to go out and just spend the night in my car in the snow and see how all this stuff would actually feel. I've tested it during survival classes and stuff, but in the car, I think it'd be fun. Just make sure if you keep the car running, like down the exhaust, all the carbon dioxide will kind of like pool up around the area. So a lot of people, when they're in their car in the winter, they suffocate. They die of carbon monoxide poison, I should say. So keeping that free and clear, especially when the snow's falling down, you got to keep coming out and shoveling it. So that way the exhaust can freely get away from the car. Otherwise it just settles in here. If you think about when the snow comes, the cold weather too, the pressure keeps everything in here. So there's like an airport not too far from us, and it was real cold here just a little bit ago and foggy. Like, I could actually smell the exhaust and the fuel from the airport, which I've never experienced that before. So snowstorm, if there's not wind flow going on, like, you're creating pockets of that carbon monoxide, so you got to keep it clear. Anyways, one of the last things in the bag is just a big heavy duty jacket. This is actually a 3-in-1 jacket, bright yellow. So you throw it on, more visible. Again, I don't want to get hit. I want people to find me. And then my thought also with this is, I can layer it, take things off as I need to. But then if other people are in the vehicle, I can take out the fleece liner and give it to someone. They can stay warm, and then I can use the rest of it. Also threw some road flares in there. I kind of wanted to use those for starting an emergency fire. I think that would be a good way to start some wood, but stuck on the side of the road and need people to see you. Obviously that's going to be nice and bright. Some 550 cord in there too. So that's kind of the main roadside survival kit. The one thing that was in here that I took out when I moved back to down to Phoenix was a can of Fix-A-Flat. So I always kept a can of Fix-A-Flat in here. But summertime in Arizona, I was worried about that maybe exploding in the heat. So I took it out of here. I might look into that more and put some of that in here, or maybe some slime or something else, because I have the kit to plug it myself, but if I could just squirt something in there, run the compressor and get going, that's kind of my goal, is just to get away from wherever it is as fast as possible. So this might be a better fix, but if I just need to get back onto a freeway and drive a little bit, and then I can get more professional help, that might be a better solution. So I pulled out of the front passenger seat up front. There's tourniquets up there. There's a backpacker weekend first aid kit, which I've thrown some more stuff in there. I've augmented it, thrown it up. I got a little waterproof Pelican case, and it has my comms plan written on it with my family and friends. But in here I have a Baofeng battery, extra antenna adapter. I actually have my ham radio license. I have an antenna on my car. So this is an adapter that I can connect to it. So that way, if I just have this, I can use it. But if I'm going out on a camping trip or anything, I throw my 50 watt in the car, and that's my primary. But this is a backup. An important thing with this too is I keep a backup battery to this radio in my driver's side door jamb, because I've been driving before using my radio, and all of a sudden the battery dies because it was an old battery. Even though it said it was full, I used it for about 5-10 minutes, it just died. So I always keep an extra fresh new battery in arm's reach of the driver, because if I'm on the freeway, which is where it died, I couldn't get to it. So last thing, this was some of the other stuff I just recently got to throw in here. What I used to do when I was in the snow is I just had some boxes of like shortbread cookies, anything that had high calories in them. So similar concept here, but also Arizona thinking. So I got these from Aldi's, breakfast biscuits, 230 calories. So something tasty, easy, small, easy to eat. Just some snacks to throw in the car. Peanut butter crackers, throw that in there. Have some electrolyte solution, that's in there too. So as the family grows, just throwing some food in the back, maybe in one of these pouches. I'm reorganizing some stuff, so putting it somewhere where it's easy to grab. I don't have to stop the car, get out, get in here, dig around, but someone can be in the back seat or climb from the passenger seat into the back seat and reach over and grab stuff that we can easily get to. That would be nice, because if you're stuck on the side of the road for hours and hours, having some food, even if it's just little snacks, is huge, huge, huge for positive mindset, for that comfort factor. So I think that's that for this. We'll maybe I'll just show this real quick, because this is funny. This is like an old little messenger bag I have. I used to throw my iPad in here when I was using it for work. In the side pouch I have a backup flashlight, a tourniquet, which is the bungee cord style. So the thinking with that being, it would work on smaller people like infants, babies. The bigger ones won't. Earplugs, ear protection, Glock mag. So that's all right here. And then in the main pocket, I have Johnson's head-to-toe cleansing wipes in case there's any blowouts, and then a vacuum-packed, sealed little emergency kit for the baby, gloves in case there's a blowout, a little blue, like hospital blue mat that they use whenever they're weighing your baby or anything, one of those. It also could be a pet pad, so that way we could just lay it down. If we need a changer on it, we have that. Change of clothes in here, and then I actually have 2 diapers vacuum sealed in there. And this will have to get pulled out soon because she's growing, so we're gonna have to put bigger diapers in here. I vacuum sealed it so that way I could so it could fit in here. I could pull some of these out, probably 15 of them. I don't know if I need, but I just want to keep this as small as footprint as possible. And then if it's an emergency and shit hit the fan or the baby, I pre-cut the edges here so I could easily rip the bag open. So that way I'm not looking for a knife or anything to try to cut it open. There's shit all over the place. I don't have time to look for that. I can grab it, rip it open, pull out some gloves, start doing what I need to do. So this is in the back seat of my car near the baby's car seat. So that way if anything happens, it's just underneath it. I can just grab it, pull it out, and grab the baby and run in. And also if this bag gets destroyed or shit all over it, I don't really carry it anymore, so if I had to just dump it, it would be the end of the world. I'd take the stuff out of it, obviously. Maybe I'll put all the stuff back, and maybe we'll do the urban survival pack next.